So we are starting here with round of 8. It is a banger of a match. Good luck, have fun to all of the players. It is a very, very high tier match, as you can see. It is MiQuatro, aswer, Bergie versus Pack. So four really gemstones of players, really good. So they have defeated in the prior 2 matches. They got into the top 2 in both matches. And we will start with Siphon Blur. A map where you have a really hard beginning. So those are the players here who have pushed it. The winners, they are really good. And Siphon Blur is a map by Clam where the world record is a 101.778. At least that's what the daddy is. So the times could have changed, but I checked today's morning, and the times didn't change. So right now it is Pack versus Bergie here in the warm-up. Then we have MiQuatro also a little bit further behind. So I would say every time under 102 is a very good time. You have to go between a lot of triangles here if you are taking risks. A total of 3 there are that you have to take. 1 is for sure, but the other 2 are optional. So you don't have to do that. Pack with a 102.22. What a great time from Pack there. Very good time. But Bergie was also in the mix. Failed the ending though. And this is the round of 8 bracket. As we go into the first round on Siphon Blur, let's spectate aswer for this round. The Jeanette player, his teammate Zat, did really good, and aswer takes some risks. As you can see, the inside triangle is just a little bit faster. As you can see, 0.5 of a second, because he has just a little bit more of an inside angle. So aswer off to a good start, as you can see, but also all of the other players. Bergie with the first mistake of the round, so it's not determined for him to grant himself the first place. MiQuatro versus aswer, so both of the players who are the so-called favorites here, at least what I can interpret from my chat, are right now in 2nd and 3rd place. So it is MiQuatro versus aswer here for that battle, for that first place. aswer with a good amount of speed, 500 of a second between Quatro and aswer here in this section. So only the ending is remaining. MiQuatro with a good amount of speed, but aswer will go with a little bit more for the wider line. But this is not the line where you have, or the turn where you have to drift. So MiQuatro will grant himself the first 10-pointer with a 102.27. What a great time! aswer in 2nd, Bergie in 3rd, and then Pack concluding the round in last place. But what a nice time by MiQuatro there. So, could be a very interesting round of 8 here. As we go into the next round. Round 2 on Siphon Blur. Of course, we play 5 rounds on each track, and then we have a limit of 100 points. As you can see, players accumulate 10, 6, 4, and 3 points for the positions. And if you have surpassed this 100 points barrier, you have to pass 1 more round into the first, or you have to get 1 more round in the first place, and then you are the victorious players. Top 2 will advance, and it's aswer actually making a mistake, and you're dead because you can't respawn. So aswer has to DNF, and it is Pack making a mistake, as well as Bergie. So what a dream start here for MiQuatro. Oh, but MiQuatro also with a mistake, so he's not able to finish as well. So what an upset here. So it is actually Bergie now in 1st. Oh my god, what is happening? So Bergie will grant himself 10 points here over Pack. So looking good for Bergie here. Pack also finishing. Oh man. So you can really see it's unforgiving. If you have made a mistake and you have done it and you're outside the track, you can't really finish anymore. Unless it's somewhere like ground nearby or something like that. So it's actually aswer and MiQuatro not granting themselves any amount of points. So Pack will overtake aswer here. And it is Bergie moving up to the lead. So let's see the next round. aswer with a very good start yet again. Goes a little bit too bad here in this section and actually lost a lot of speed with that. So it actually Bergie against Pack here, who will take that first place. Going into the second half of the track, we have Pack with a good amount of speed. This time around, he didn't make any sort of mistake, as you can see from the minus here. So it is actually Pack now in the lead. Also with a good turn here as well. So it will be Bergie coming, losing it a little bit against Pack here in this section. But still 500s between 800s of a second between all the players. But Pack with a no slide. And he will get overtaken by MiQuatro also by aswer here. So Pack with a no slide in this section. It's looking grim for the UK player as he is barely able to make that jump. So who will take that first wave? Will it be Bergie or MiQuatro? MiQuatro opts for a very outside approach. Has a little bit more speed than Bergie. Who will he take it? Oh my god, it's actually 16,000 of a second. MiQuatro almost taking it there in the end. But it's eventually Bergie staying ahead of him with 16,000, so not a lot for MiQuatro there, of him granting himself the first place. But Bergie with 24 points out of 3 rounds, so great start for him. And also MiQuatro here, finding himself after first and second place. And of course the DNF in the second round in second place. aswer, however, with only 10 points out of those 3 rounds, so he needs to step up a little bit. This time around aswer gets a good start. MiQuatro is a little bit further behind, so it's still close between all of the players. Only MiQuatro, as I said beforehand, finds himself 0.3 of a second, 0.25 of a second behind Pack, who's currently the leader. So hopefully Pack will get through this time, because he had issues in the last couple of rounds. But so far it's looking good, and it is looking really good for the UK player. As you can see here, he opts for a very good approach here, finding himself 0.2 of a second ahead of aswer and Bergie. But Bergie right now in second place, and aswer also in the mix. So who will take that second place? Will it be aswer or Bergie? Or will Pack fall a little bit behind? Didn't get the best landing there in this section, so aswer and Bergie will come a bit closer. But aswer gets the best line here, and will be actually Bergie with more speed here in the ending. So Bergie will overtake aswer there in the ending, and Pack with a 102.18 in first place. So what a great time there from the Norwegian player. From the UK player, but also the Norwegian player, with a very good ending section, overtaking aswer in this ending. MiQuatro only with 3 points, and therefore it is him losing some points towards Pack, and Pack now up to second place. Bergie in first with 30 points going into the next round. aswer remarkably making this start all the time, but this round it didn't really grant himself too much. Bergie has made a mistake, and an additional mistake, so he won't have a saying in this round. As we see Pack right now in first. Then we have aswer just behind him, 500ths of a second. MiQuatro also in the mix, but finds himself 0.15 of a second behind. So it is neck and neck here between both of the players. aswer is not going away from Pack. He's like a fly behind him, and he will actually overtake him here in this section. But Pack with a little bit more speed in this section, so looking good for Pack here, as he's now increasing his lead to 0.15 of a second. So Pack is on a banger of a time, as you can see here. This will be another low 102 time for Pack. But aswer wants to have a saying here as well, and it will be all in the ending. aswer with a little bit more speed, but no, it's actually Pack with a better line there in the ending. A 102.37 for Pack will grant himself 10 points. aswer in second. MiQuatro has made a small mistake, and also Bergie, who has made the mistake in the start of the track, only with 3 points in this round. So very close here. Bergie with 33 points, then Pack with 32. Great comeback for him. And then we have 23 points for MiQuatro and 20 points for aswer. Going into the next map, what will it be? It is none other than Crompots by Omnipots and Kronos. Really cool track. Has a very good author time with a 105.22.2, and the Dedimania is by Zykos with a 105.085. So players are currently warming up, and we will go live after this one. So you have to steer just to the right beforehand, and then to the left when your right tire has touched the underground there, in order to grant yourself a no jump, or that your nose goes down. Pack did that perfectly fine. So great job there for Pack. Then of course we will go into the reuse section, where we will go to the start yet again. As you can see here, Pack does this turn very good, accumulates a lot of speed in this section. And then the end jump, where you have to avoid the inflatable trees here and jump into the finish. So not the hardest finish, but Pack with a 105.34 Oh my god, what a time. 0.25 behind WR. What a great time from Pack and also from Bergie, finding himself 0.2 of a second behind. So you can see the level of this round of 8 is insanely good. So, going into the first round here on Crompots. It is Pack going actually for that inside approach, and it's actually not as low as I was thinking it firstly is. So Pack going for those inside drifts all the way, and he is right now in first place. So great job there from the UK player, as those lines are really unusual for me. So unusual playing style from Pack, but this seems to pay off. But of course this is more risky compared to the outside approaches here. So Pack right now in first, then we have MiQuatro with a good nosedive here, coming back strong, and MiQuatro with a good approach and has a little bit, yeah, not a little bit more speed, equal speed towards Pack, so he will be in second place. Then we have aswer and Bergie finding themselves 0.3 of a second behind the leader, who is still Pack in this race. They're dropping a little bit further behind, so Pack with very good lines here, as you can see. And he will clock in another banger of a time, as it seems. MiQuatro falls back behind, and it's actually Bergie in second and Pack in first. But what a time will it be? A 1:05.53. Very good time for him. 0.90 for Bergie, and then we have MiQuatro finishing. And aswer had to DNF, unfortunately, after he has made a mistake that I've unfortunately didn't capture. So Pack, 42 points in first place for him. Great lines. And you can see that this guy is playing a little bit different than the other players. So let's follow Pack again and let's see what his lines are. Goes for the inside line again. This line seems to be so risky, but yet very, very rewarding. As you can see, he's still in the lead. No one is to be seen here. Maybe his start was a little bit wonky this time, or the others just did it a little bit better in this round. But Pack still yet again in the lead. As we approach the middle part of the track, where you have to perform a no jump here. Let's see all the players doing it good. aswer did it super risky and therefore touches the block there to his right. So this Pack still in first, and aswer dropping behind, finding himself 1.5 seconds, actually exactly 2 seconds behind the leader, who's right now MiQuatro. So MiQuatro saying knock knock onto Pack's door here. So who will take it in the ending? It is all here. Will MiQuatro take it, or is it Pack who goes for so much more speed? Pack will actually overtake MiQuatro in this ending section with a 1:05.48. What a great round there from Pack. MiQuatro is losing it there in the end, but what a performance from the UK player, for the former M&M player Pack there. 52 points for him, and this is a dream scenario for him on this map, winning 2 out of 2 rounds. 43 points for Bergie. Then we have 33 for MiQuatro and 23 for aswer. So aswer dropping a little bit behind. But Pack again with a very, very weird line. He's still in M&M. Okay, then I was mistaken because he's not wearing the tag, but the point here, or the dot. Maybe this is referring to M&M. But yeah, this was my bad then. Okay, but Pack again with a good start. As you can see, he's still in first. aswer also with a good section. He goes for a very, very interesting no jump. Was a little bit too much, so he will drop down. Not too last, but didn't get the best drift, but a good speed outcome. But aswer so close here, but it is Pack who seems to be unstoppable on this map. So Pack, still in first, but it is actually aswer and Bergie making a mistake, and then MiQuatro will capitalize from that. So Pack will maybe drop another banger, another 1:05 time. What is this performance by Pack? A 1:05.36. Are you kidding me? MiQuatro in second, then we have Bergie and aswer declaring the third and fourth place for themselves, or between themselves. So aswer with another 3-pointer, finding himself with 26 points in dead last. Pack with 62 points, so very good second map for him. You see the Pack line. This seems to be so much more stronger. I mean, he's only half a cal length ahead, but once it goes into your blood, it just looks super, super fast. Look at this Pack yet again in the lead, the 4th consecutive time in a row. Very consistent from him. Bergie finds himself 0.25 of a second, now 0.4 of a second behind the rest of the pack, and makes an additional mistake, so he won't have a saying here. So MiQuatro versus aswer for that second place. Pack just seems to be unstoppable on this round. Pack is actually increasing his lead to 0.16 of a second. What is this guy doing? He's playing so good on this track. This could be the fourth victory in a row for him. So Pack extending his lead yet again, but it's all in for that second place. MiQuatro with a good turn here and will actually come a little bit closer towards Pack in this section. As you can see, he opts for a more outside approach, but it won't be enough because Pack has more speed and will drop another 105.18. Oh my god, what a great time. 105.18. 0.1 away from WR. Pack is just driving insanely good. 72 points for him. Bergie with 52 points in second, with 50 points in second. Then with MiQuatro with 45 points in third. And aswer, unfortunately, not, making any sort of points here. But can Pack win his 5th round in a row? Look at this start. Oh my god. Can we just enjoy this for this moment? I just want to enjoy this right now. Oh, this smooth playing style from Pack. This is insane. -0.08 of a second ahead of his PB. This guy is just on a good time. He's going for it. He's going for it. Didn't get the best speed, but oh my god. -0.06 of a second. Is he really going for it? Pack off to a good time. This could be a 105.0 time if Pack is surviving this ending section. Look at this, -0.07 of a second. Oh my god, is he going for this? Pack could potentially drop the lines here. What a great ending from Pack. And this will be a 105.0 time for him. No, he will actually fail the ending. No way. Pack will fail the ending because it was too inside. And aswer will win it over MiQuatro. Then we have Bergie in last. But Pack, he really pushed it there for the WR. But, man, you hate to see that. But he choked the 105.0 time. The WR was a 105.085 by Psychos. At least that's what the daddy was telling me. So I don't know what the real WR is, but that was the time that I could have seen. So next map, it is Cascade. The first map that I've seen in this competition, with a full speed start here as well. As you can see, it's by Kisla and Warmy. And the WR is by Kaujina with a 106.168. Not sure what the real daddy is. Someone has dropped a 106 low, like 106.0, or a 105 time even. So we will see here what Pack is doing. So this could be theoretically the last round for Pack, or the last map for Pack. Because he's only 24 points away of him granting himself the final status. As you can see, he's at 76 points. Just played insanely good, like a madman on the prior map. Then we see MiQuatro finding himself 2 points behind Bergie. So MiQuatro is a real threat here for Bergie. aswer only with 40 points, but nothing is set in stone here, of course. As you can see. Because 10 points are easier earned than I don't know, because you can fail this ending here really quickly if you clip there or something like that. This will not cost you a lot, but in close situations this can cause a lot of damage. As we go into the first round on Cascade, let's follow aswer for this round, as he's only at 40 points, but maybe this map suits him the best. You really want to hold your gear in this turn here, as we see Bergie dropping behind, and this is not what the Norwegian wants to do here. He's at 53 points, and MiQuatro's chance here to grant himself a second place or even a first place, and will overtake Bergie with that, or he could overtake Bergie with that. So MiQuatro with a good line, as well as aswer, but it's Pack still in first. MiQuatro with a very wide line, a little bit too wide for my flavor. But it is still Pack versus aswer here in this part, as Pack gets a godlike slide. Look at this. So Pack is still in the lead, but with 0.23 of a second. This is just insanely good for him. MiQuatro in second, ahead of Bergie and aswer. So it seems that aswer has made a mistake. So Pack on his way to win this round. He goes for that inside approach there. Interesting to see that. So Pack with different trajectories. But Pack makes the mistake, and it's MiQuatro winning this round over Bergie. And then we have Pack finishing only in third. And it is aswer rounding off the round, or ending the round with the last place. Oh man. Okay, he has touched. I didn't see that. Yeah, but it's Pack with 80 points. And he's only 2 points, 2 victories away of him granting himself the finalist mode. MiQuatro has 61 points. Then we have Bergie with 59. So MiQuatro has overtaken Bergie with that performance. So I didn't really capture that error there from Pack in that turn. So I was wondering why he was taking that inside approach. But of course, it was just a good save from him. As we see MiQuatro falling a little bit further behind. Oh, didn't get the best line there either. So he will be 1 second behind. So let's focus here on this fight for that first place. We have aswer, Bergie and Pack. Aswer in first, and he's really in need of those points if he wants to stay alive in this tournament. Or if he wants to stay in the winner bracket. So aswer versus Bergie here for that first place. Bergie with a good approach here in this section, but also aswer. Bergie had to readjust his line, and therefore aswer will extend his lead to 0.2 of a second. Pack comes a little bit closer as well. So it will be aswer. Only the ending remaining from. Let's follow Bergie for this ending. Will Bergie? No! Bergie will fail, and it's actually Pack who will grant himself the second place, and MiQuatro in third. Bergie will only grant himself 3 points, and aswer will grant himself well-needed 10 points here. For that, 53 points for aswer, 62 for Bergie, and MiQuatro with 65 points in second place. Then we have Pack with 86 points, so what a dominant performance from him. But of course, he's still in need of some rounds in order to move into the next round, into the quarterfinal. But yet, it is a very remarkable performance by Pack. I have to drink something because my throat is really sore. So aswer, very, very good start for him again. So maybe the doorbell has rung for him because he is really on a good time again. Oh, risky approach, and he's failing it. Just when I praised him, he has failed this turn. So it's actually him falling down to P3, and it is MiQuatro versus Pack here for that first place. It is MiQuatro who could grant himself some valuable points and go up to 75 points here. Or it could be Pack who could only need a third place in the next round to grant himself the finalist mode. MiQuatro looking strong, and he's actually on a banger of a time. MiQuatro, only the end is remaining for him, and it's looking good. MiQuatro will take it with a 106.77. What a great time by him. It is a really, really good time. And Pack just behind him. Aswer in third, and then we have Bergie finishing in last. So Bergie stumbling a bit in the last couple of rounds, as he is only at 65 points right now. So Pack needs a first place now in order to move up to the finalist mode, because you need to surpass this 100 point barrier in order to activate the finalist mode. But right now it's looking good for Pack, but as well as aswer and MiQuatro and also Bergie, all with a very good start. Every player in between 400ths of a second. Bergie opts for that more outside approach and therefore has more speed, and also drops more outside here in this turn, so his apex will be a little bit later. So MiQuatro, Pack and Bergie is right now your top 3. Pack off to a very, very good section, but also Bergie. Look at this. Pack came into touch with the barrier, and he is now in last. So MiQuatro, aswer and Bergie will now declare the top 3 positions between them, and all of them are in dire need of some points. Right now it is aswer in first, but this is impossible to call. 500ths between all of the players. Who will take it? It is MiQuatro with more speed, Bergie with a better line, and who will take it in the end? MiQuatro with a better ending, and MiQuatro will take it over Bergie. Aswer not making the ending. Aswer also didn't make it that good, and Pack only with 3 points in this round. Oh my god. So Pack up to 95 points, but MiQuatro granted himself some valuable points and is now up to 85 points as well. So very, very good performance there from the Finnish player, as you can see. So let's follow aswer. 61 points for him, but still a very, very, very good performance from the Jeanette player. As you can see, he's up into the lead. Grants himself a lot of speed, as well as MiQuatro and Pack. Pack with a better line here in this section. Oh my god, what is Pack doing? He wants to deny some points. He only needs a second place though. But he maybe wants that first place and wants to deny some points. But aswer wants to say something against that. So aswer against Pack in this section. Pack with a better amount of speed. It is MiQuatro and Bergie too far behind to have a saying. Pack needs to make a mistake in order to let the other players pass him. But it's looking really, really good so far. Let's go a little bit further behind. It is actually MiQuatro coming a little bit closer. 0.2 of a second between him and Pack. Pack 0.50 now between him and MiQuatro. So it will be all in the ending. Pack has to survive this ending. Otherwise, he won't grant himself the finalist mode. Or he needs to grant himself second place. But it's looking good for Pack so far. Pack with a good alignment. And Pack will grant himself first place with a 106.51. What a great time. aswer also with a 61 here. MiQuatro in third with an 83. And then we have Bergie making a mistake, finding himself 6 seconds behind in last place, only with 3 points. So Bergie, that was not Bergie's map, unfortunately. And he's only up to 74 points now. Now, Weird Flex is coming up. Pack is up to finalist mode after that victory. And MiQuatro is 2 rounds away, or 1 victory, or 2 first places, or whatever. But if he gets a victory now, he will have the slap in the face, the 99 points. Alright. As we go into the first warm-up on Weird Flex, map by Thompson. And the WR here is a 103.30 by Cole Jr. from the Daddy-Mania. I have taken that one. And the author time is also below 104. So every time below 104 is pretty good. This is a more speedy track, I would say, where you only have tap brakes and some tight sections, as well as the section that we're passing here. And then this part here with the grass. You want to go very far to the outside and do not steer as much as possible, because you want the best angle for that part. And then you have a very, very speedy section coming up where you should not touch the freewheel block, as MiQuatro just did a very good example of. And so we have a lot of speed in all those sections here. As you can see, the risky finish is coming up now. Pack, what time is Pack dropping? Pack is dropping a 103.52. Oh my god, what is this guy doing? Holy shit. Pack just wants to win this round of 8 just in this round. This is coming up now. So Pack with a very, very good performance in the warm-up. And now we will go into the first finals attempt from Pack. Let's follow him. It's only it's on the other hands from the players to deny him, but Pack is on such a good pace, and he doesn't even make so many mistakes. So Pack is just on steroids at the moment. Pack with such a ludicrous performance. This is insane. Again, look at this. What is this guy doing? He's 0.1 of a second ahead of Bergie and aswer. What is he doing? But also, it's very close here between that second place. MiQuatro versus aswer here for that second place. Who will take it? aswer with a little bit more speed in this section, and they will come a tiny tad closer towards Pack, as you can see. But Pack with a very good grass section here. But of course, the ending is remaining for the players here. aswer and MiQuatro are the players to deny Pack, else Pack will go into the quarterfinal here. Without any doubt, Pack is really dominating, has really dominated this match. So Pack on his way to win this one, and it is Pack moving into the quarterfinal. GG. MiQuatro with 94.5 points now, aswer with 67. And then we have, actually, yeah, aswer who DNF'd prior round. So this is not looking too good for him. As we see him, I mean, he's performing very good. But against those players, it's really hard to really stand a chance. But aswer is doing also very, very good, as he grants himself a little bit more of an inside line. So Bergie will go up into the lead right now. But it's super close here. Bergie with a little bit more speed. So MiQuatro is also still in the mix, as Bergie is making the mistake. So MiQuatro will grant himself the finalist mode here, because Bergie won't take or won't occupy that second place if MiQuatro will make a mistake, or only if MiQuatro will make a mistake. But this won't happen most likely, because he can just save the ending. And if he's smart, he's doing it like that. But MiQuatro was actually on a good time here. As you can see, he's on another good time. On a 1:06 time. So let's see what he's... 1:03 time, I mean. So this is looking good for him. So 1:03.89 for MiQuatro. Bergie in second, actually. And aswer, unfortunately, DNF'd. So only at 67 points for him still. MiQuatro now with his first finals attempt. So Bergie and aswer have to deny him. And let's go into the first finals attempt for MiQuatro. Let's see what the Finnish player is doing. So, looking good here for aswer. Very good start, so he could deny some big boy points towards Bergie. And also the victory towards MiQuatro. So he has not a very good start. Takes it very conservatively. Very outside. So he gathers a lot of speed. But it's not sufficient. As you can see. He only comes a tiny bit closer. Finds himself 0.16 of a second. Behind aswer and Bergie. But great line there from MiQuatro. So he comes very close here in this section. 0.04 of a second. It's still Bergie in first. And aswer also wants to have a saying. So this will be all in the last part. 20 seconds left for the players. MiQuatro will move up to that second place. But Bergie with a good amount of speed. So this is neck and neck. 500ths of a second between all of the players. aswer with a good amount of speed. But Bergie also in the mix here. So what a close round. MiQuatro was pushing it. Bergie with a mistake. But aswer with more speed. aswer could deny him the victory. And aswer will deny MiQuatro the victory. And the ticket to the round of 4 here. What a great ending for aswer here. And he will stay alive one more round. Holy shit. What a great ending there from aswer. Denying MiQuatro. Holy moly. So Bergie was finishing, but only in third place, of course. And therefore granted himself only 4 points. As we go into the second finalist attempt from MiQuatro, we have aswer again with a very good start, as well as Bergie. So this is neck and neck again, 500s between all of the players. As we see aswer with a little bit less speed compared towards MiQuatro. MiQuatro with a very good line here in this stretch, and therefore he's extending his lead a little bit. But aswer comes back with a very strong line, so Bergie won't have a saying here. He finds himself 0.2 behind, but it's actually aswer with a good line, and Bergie... godlike approach from Bergie in this section. aswer is dead. MiQuatro is too far behind. And it's actually Bergie who will deny MiQuatro the second place ticket here as well. So we will go into another round. And this could be the theoretically last round as well. Because MiQuatro is still in finals. If you are not able to finish, or if you are in second or third place, you are not losing the final status. But Bergie is finishing in first. Then we have MiQuatro in second. But it doesn't matter because aswer deleted anyway. And Bergie will move up to 98 points. And now we will go into the next round. The fifth round. The fifth and final round on Weird Flags. And if this map will be over, we will see the first map yet again. So aswer versus MiQuatro here for that start. Bergie didn't get the best start. So it is aswer's task to deny MiQuatro the victory. aswer with a very good line here in this section. But it's super close, 200ths of a second between both of the players. MiQuatro goes super far outside again. So he has a little bit more speed in this rather speedy section, where he surpassed 300 kilometers per hour. But it's still nothing set in stone, as MiQuatro gets a good line and aswer is dead. So it's all in Bergie's hands to deny MiQuatro the victory here. Or MiQuatro will move into the next one. MiQuatro with more speed, but Bergie comes back strong. So it will be all in this speedy section. Bergie with not a lot of speed in this section. 0.1 of a second between both of the players. And it is between Bergie and MiQuatro in this ending. Bergie not with the best section. So MiQuatro with more speed. And it will be MiQuatro who will move up into the quarterfinal. As well as Pack, who is qualified at first. GG. Great performance from MiQuatro there. Bergie unfortunately lost it. aswer played also very good. But it wasn't enough when you play against MiQuatro and Pack and also Bergie. But great performance from all of the players. Bergie, it wasn't quite enough for him. But if you play those players, it is really hard to do that. So GG's to both of the players who have advanced.